Hey guys, welcome back to Bloodborne. We had a patch come out. I don't know if it was since last episode or if it was already out last episode and I didn't notice the results of it, but here's the first most major thing. Bam! Quicksilver Bullets and Blood Vials now have a maximum of 600. Now this doesn't mean I don't have to farm them anymore, but this does mean that it's possible for me to get so many of them that fighting a boss like 5 times doesn't drain me of all of my 120 Blood Vials, and then I have to farm them again. Like, I get a backlog because we don't cap out at only 120 of them like we did before. So that's a welcome change. There's also an additional thing right over here, which is that this guy here, the insight store, will now show up when you have 1 insight instead of when you have 10. This is really handy in particular for like doing a co-op series, which I've been trying to work on, where it's kind of annoying to make a new character and have to get 10 insight to even start, but it also means you can spend your insight all the way down to getting 0, and you spend your last insight and they vanish, instead of having to be like, well, I always have 10 I have to hold on to, so I only have 70 to spend. But there's also another change here, which is going to be handy for us, which is... oh, it's not here right now. Anyway, you're supposed to be able to buy bloodstone chunks from this vendor. I think you unlock it by getting to a certain part of the game, and presumably, oh right. See, I probably have to trigger the. Probably have to trigger whatever you do to unlock bloodstone chunks in New Game Plus. Since when I did whatever that trigger was in New Game, I probably wasn't the proper level. But anyway, we still need twin stone shards. I might as well go ahead and grab those. I need 3 more to level up my scythe again. Then we can move on to the, that'll allow us to move on to the chunks as is appropriate. I think that's as much yeah. Alright, now we need 2 more chunks. This might take a little longer, but progress is made. It's up to level 6 now, at least. Is it already... I think I already equipped it with gems. No? Alright, we're back to where we find the prostitute and the suspicious man, who I found out will only talk to you when you've defeated 3 bosses. Well, I've now done Cleric, Gascoigne, and Witch of Hemwick, so now they should be willing to talk to me about where to go.
Oh, thank goodness. You're a hunter, right? Might you know of a safe place? The night is long, and I've very little of the incense left. Please, there must be some nice place to run off to. Oh, thank you, darling. Maybe I'll see you there.
We've definitely learned that the Oden Chapel is the good place, and Yosefka's clinic is the bad place.
What's this 2-bit nonsense you're peddling? I heard you told that wench about some shelter. Well, she's a damn fool to trust an outsider. Why? Well, her sort's probably just fixing to feed some of your coin. Alright, what crafty lies does the outsider have today? You think I'm an easy mark? Yeah? Well, give me your best shot.
So he's obviously a very suspicious man. So the trick here is actually that he's going to go to the opposite location of wherever you tell him to go. So I have Oden Chapel and Yosefka's clinic as choices. If I tell him to go to the clinic, he'll show up in the Oden Chapel and therefore be alive. Last time, I don't remember what I chose last time. I either chose Oden Chapel or I chose withhold information as my final option. I know I explored every dialogue option just to see if he'd react differently to them. And I either chose Oden Chapel or withhold information at the end, which means he either died here or he died at the clinic. But either way, he didn't make it to the chapel last time. So I'm gonna choose the clinic this time.
Yeah, sorry, too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders, even their lies are predictable.
There we go. So he will soon appear at the chapel along with the prostitute character. I'll have to make a trip to go talk to the old woman, too. I realized I haven't gone back to her since I gained access to the chapel. Alright, coming up on the old lady. Now I have an answer for you. It's really unfortunate that you, if you turn back when you first start the game, you can meet Yosefka right away. So if you meet her and then meet this girl, you can send this old lady straight to the clinic, having no idea there's even going to be options later.
Now what is it now? Are much better ways to pass the time. Unless you found me a nice safe place. Well, what do you know? An outsider worth a lick of salt. Well, don't just stand there. Don't you have work to do? Go slit some throats. Get this mess done with.
And just like that, the gang's all there. So we're gonna have a whole crew of people to meet back at the chapel. Mostly the same two people we met before. I'm still missing one person, but we'll have one person to talk to that we didn't have in previous playthroughs. Here's another change in the recent patch that I think is worth noticing. Items that you unlock via chalice dungeons, see the saw cleaver and then the uncanny saw cleaver, which is the only difference between the prefixes is that it changes what type of gem slots there are. Those types of items actually become purchasable at the store once you have found them in the chalice dungeon. Now we're back in Oden Chapel. Here's our little friendly, creepy little man. And we immediately have some new faces. So, I think her name's Ariana, but say hello to her. There's the old woman like always, that's really grumpy to see us. And there's the suspicious man who showed up here also. And then a bit later, we'll have Adela the nun sitting right there once I have access to her. But first I have to defeat Bloodstarved Beast to even be kidnapped in the first place.
Oh, hello, dear. You weren't lying. This is a safe place. Thank you. I'm in your debt. I'd like to tender my thanks, but I haven't much to offer. All I can give is my blood. But would you even take a whore's blood? Oh, good. Come close, dear. Don't worry, this isn't the first time. Oh, hello. Sorry, dear. You're much too eager. I've only so much blood, okay?
So she's interesting because she's, what is it? It's going to be a problem when we get the nun here because she also would give me blood. And she's not at all excited about the fact that I'm taking blood from a prostitute. But we'll get into that more later. Here's the old lady from before. Of all the people to successfully rescue last time, this is the one I got. The trick to keeping her alive is just don't keep talking to her and accepting sedatives from her over and over again. If she leaves to get more, like twice, then she'll die. But if you just don't do that, which, all you get is sedatives anyway, then I think she just stays alive, maybe even to the end of the game.
Oh no, I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark, I'd say. This whole mess that Yharnam's in, it's all your fault. Stupidity outsiders. Our blood's ruined, tainted by your ilk. Don't you come near me. I know your type.
You fidgety outsiders! Alright, so here is the suspicious man. He's got an interesting trait where he'll apparently give us advice about various people. Actually, much like what Lautrec would do in Dark Souls 1, I believe. But I think he has a specific tendency where, basically if he gives advice, the opposite tends to be true.
Ah, you. The swindling off-comer. Did you really think that'd work? There's no fooling me. Now, off with you. You heard me. Go away. I can't stand the stench of your lying breath. I'll spare you one nugget of advice. Beware the blind man. There the beggar sits at the bottom of the bloody food chain, and then he's here acting like he owns the place. He's not to be trusted. What's he want with all those people anyway? That little weasel has a murky past, I'm telling you.
So that, if we go by what the internet says, or supposedly he always says the opposite of what's true, that would mean that the blind man, which I assume he means is the guy that runs this place way back there. I didn't realize he was blind. Okay. If that's the case, then they're apparently he's very trustworthy and actually has a stain-free past. If we trust the internet, anyway.
Oh. Give it a rest, please. I've no time for your petty lies. And what, just go away now. I can't stand the stench of your lying breath.
Alright, we'll come back later. Hopefully we'll get more advice from him later. I just want to, you know, experience all the dialogue while we can. By the way, Eileen the Crow is here. And if I talk to her here, she'll tell me about a Henrik saying not to interfere. And then we'll have that encounter where Gascoigne was, and I'm supposed to help defeat Henrik. We did that all in my first playthrough. This time I'm going to not talk to her, and we're going to see what happens in her storyline after we defeat Rom, which is what caused last time for her to get taken out, beaten down by that other character, and I had to fight what was the hardest enemy in all of Bloodborne. By the way, I'm quite liking my vertical strike with this weapon, Ludwig's Holy Blade, specifically because it staggers these assholes, which is incredibly good news to me, because these guys, goddamn, one of the main things I always had an issue with when fighting these guys is that they would seem to never get staggered by anything, really, so having that specific strike actually do that is handy, because it'll stop them from doing their previous problem, which is that they would basically attack through my attacks to hit me, and that was frustrating. I think someone's supposed to patrol around here. Can I see anything from here that's noteworthy? There's a bridge down there, which could be the bridge leading to... Oh yeah, that's probably the bridge that leads to Gascoigne, judging by its general location. That you probably roll a burning boulder across that. It's definitely hard to tell at this distance. But anyway, we're on our way to Old Yharnam to take out the blood-starved beast. I might take alternate routes on the way there. I'm a little bummed that you can't get, Alfred. Is it Alfred? Whatever, the guy you meet up on that cliff over there. I'm surprised, I'm a little surprised you can't ever get him to join you at the, yep, at Majula. I just said Majula. I don't know, I got comfy with the idea of getting so many characters to show up at Firelink Shrine in Majula that only being able to get, like, 3 or 4 characters to show up at the, Oh! Come on. I wasn't attacking fast enough, but I got my hit points back, so it's good. Uh-oh. Woo! Dog punished. I got so many characters to show up at the towns in the Dark Souls games, I'm slightly bummed out that only a few can show up in this one. I guess, in particular, Dark Souls 2 is the one where you can just cram that place full of people. Anyway, going inside that building is our ultimate goal. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go up first, because I know I'm gonna drop down anyway, so I don't need to make that path twice. Hey, friend. Bye, dog. Ow. Bullets. Why? Why is there gotta be 2 dogs? Wow, I've got that timing down just right, don't I? Hey, buddy. How's that working out for you? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to think. From what I know about this game, I'm not sure. I think there might be no benefit to talking to Alfred here. If it's Alfred. I think it starts with an A at least. I think if you don't talk to him here, you can just go meet him after you defeat Amalia? Amalia? Anyway. After you defeat the Vicar, I think he just shows up on the way to Forgotten Forest whether you've talked to him before or not, so might just be another chance encounter, really.
You're a beast hunter, aren't you? I knew it. That's precisely how I started out. Oh, beg pardon. You may call me Alfred, protege of Master Ligarius, hunter of vile bloods. So, what say you? Our prey might differ, but we are hunters, the both of us. Why not cooperate and discuss the things we've learned? Well, that's most unfortunate. But if you have a change of heart, you know where to come. We are, after all, fellow hunters, and tonight we hunt.
Screw you, Alfred. I'm not talking to you. I don't need your crap. I just kind of felt like doing the opposite dialogue for the sake of it. He doesn't do anything important, really. And no enemies up here? Nope. By the way, you'll notice that I have the brightness turned up a bit. I don't want to use the lantern anymore, the hand lantern, because the hand lantern has a negative effect on your stamina regeneration rate for some reason, which is rather frustrating. So to make the videos more watchable for the audience, I turn the brightness up instead. We've already had the full the dark experience with low light and using the hand lantern all the time. This time around, I'd rather avoid doing anything that's going to make the game harder for me, while also trying to make it so you guys can still watch. Seems like a worthwhile endeavor. I'm always a little surprised that this room's so empty. It's also kind of hilarious to me they're still giving me level 1 gems. It's just how lazy the New Game Plus was, where they just didn't bother subbing anything in. Howdy, y'all. Hut. God, it's so much easier to fight you guys when you're alone. Where's your friend? That's right, you don't have any. Fighting one wolf is easy, because you can just dodge its like 1 or 2 attacks, and you can usually stun it, and it's no big deal. It's just the moment there's 2 of them, or one of them catches you off guard, suddenly you're in a real predicament all of a sudden. Those guys on the bridge are nasty, just because every time you attack one of them, the other one goes after you. I think this stuff's mostly... Yeah, I don't think there's much items around here. There's a chest, I think. Probably up here, since I had to go down. An item at the very least. Antidotes. Can you tell that the next boss is going to have poison attacks? What if we throw more antidotes at you until you figure it out? Okay, I guess we'll just continue to do that for the entire zone. And that's exactly what happens in this game. They throw so much... pungent... Hey, blood cocktails and antidotes. Hint, hint, you should use those on the boss. I sound sarcastic and dismissive about this, but I'm the asshole who didn't take the hint and did not go in equipped with those things right off the bat when I probably should have. Let's see, let's go ahead and pre-equip ourselves with blood cocktails. There we go. Those will be handy later on for a variety of reasons. Let's see. Where's my... I don't have my magic enchantment item on here, do I? I'll go ahead and put it on over here. There we go. Gotta get that phantasm shell equipped in case I need it. And out we go. This town is long abandoned. Hunters not wanted here. You can't tell me what to do. Nobody can tell me what to do. Do you know who I am? I don't know who I am. Can you please tell me who I am? I'm the stranger from a forgotten world.
Hunter! Didn't you see the warning? Turn back at once. Old Yharnam, burned and abandoned by men, is now home only to beasts. They are apart. Turn back, or the hunter will face the hunt.
Now I can pick up items. It's too bad that dialogue, whenever someone's yelling at you and you're not talking to them one-on-one, I wish the dialogue would just not be skippable, because I would like to be able to just pick up items in those situations, and that you can't pick up an item until the guy stops talking, unfortunately. Howdy, y'all. Y'all's dead is what's going on here. Whoops. I've evolved a bit since I originally fought you guys. You guys were dangerous when I first met you. You were genuinely difficult. It'll be interesting to see how I do against blood-starved beasts, because he's the first thing in the game that gave me a lot of trouble. But I get the feeling he might give me less trouble this time around, just because I've gotten way better at the general flow of Bloodborne. This will probably be like my subsequent playthroughs of Dark Souls 2, where I just got so much better at the game that it didn't really matter to me that it used to be so much more difficult. I thought there was a guy right there. Oh god! Got mixed up. Got mixed up about the locations of the bad guys. Now I'm getting clawed bad. Give me those hit points back. Gimme. Ah, we got capped off. I do get every bit slightly frustrated by the, how quickly the amount of hit points you can recover diminishes, but I'm sure that's just part of the design. It's probably pointless for me to spend insight on those twin shards, since I'm just going to get more of them. It's fine. Fuck it. I'm just going to upgrade every single... I want to upgrade every single weapon in the game to some extent, just because I can.
You're a skilled hunter, adept at vessels. Hunt with blood, as the best hunters are.
Howdy, y'all. You having a grand old time while I club you over the heads like a whack-a-mole? Oh, here they come. 2 for 1. Oh, that was not a 2 for 1. It only hit the front guy. That was weird. It specifically hit the guy that I wasn't even locked onto, and completely missed the guy I was locked onto. Not exactly what I was going for. Still, doing good on our... We're doing just fine on Blood Vials. I already know he's going to open fire on me, so I'm just going to go this way. Oh, what if I try to... Should I go for the shortcut here?